Blackhead prevention starts with a quiet routine, not a dramatic one. Blackheads form when oil, dead skin cells, and debris collect inside a pore, and the surface of that plug is exposed to air, which causes it to darken. They are not a sign that someone is dirty, and they do not usually improve when the skin is scrubbed harshly. In many cases, rough treatment only leaves the skin more irritated, more reactive, and more difficult to manage. A better approach is to work with the skin instead of against it. Wash the face gently in the morning and again at night with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water. Avoid very hot water, harsh scrubs, rough washcloths, and the urge to attack the skin as if it were a stain on a countertop. Most blackhead-prone skin responds better to patience than force. If makeup, sunscreen, sweat, or daily buildup is sitting on the skin at the end of the day, remove it properly before bed. Lightweight, non-comedogenic products are usually a better choice for people who clog easily around the nose, chin, forehead, or jawline. Moisturizer still matters, even for oily skin, because uncomfortable, stripped skin can become irritated and harder to balance. If the skin tolerates it, salicylic acid can help loosen the material that blocks pores. Some people also benefit from adapalene, used gently and consistently over time, because it helps keep pores from becoming clogged in the first place. The important thing is to start slowly and stay steady rather than using too much too fast. Squeezing blackheads with fingernails or metal tools may feel productive for a few moments, but it often leads to irritation, marks, and a cycle of touching the face that creates more trouble than progress. Hair oils, pomades, and heavy styling products can also quietly contribute to clogged pores around the forehead and temples, so it helps to keep those products away from facial skin when possible. Pillowcases, hats, and phone screens do not need to become a source of anxiety, but keeping them reasonably clean supports a better environment for the skin. Blackhead prevention is not a battle. It is a habit. It is a calm routine repeated long enough to make the pores less congested and the skin less irritated. And now, with that practical skincare advice tucked away neatly like a clean towel in a bathroom cabinet, let us move into the larger and more cheerful part of the evening, where, instead of cleansers and magnifying mirrors, we step into a small American town where retirement, local gossip, volunteer confusion, and one very stubborn man combine to create a story much livelier than anyone expected. In the town of Cedar Glenn, Ohio, 73-year-old Russell Harper believed a person could tell almost everything important about another human being by the way they closed a screen door. A careful person closed it with respect. A distracted person let it slap. A dangerous person said, "It'll be fine," and left it half open for mosquitoes and moral decline. Russell had been retired for 9 years from the town's feed and supply store, where he had spent most of his adult life selling seed, nails, fence wire, and sound advice to men who preferred to learn by damaging something first. Retirement suited him in theory. He liked quiet mornings, strong coffee, local news, and the sort of porch sitting that looks lazy but is actually a highly disciplined study of neighborhood behavior. He lived alone in a tidy brick house with white shutters, a well-kept lawn, and a porch swing that squeaked only when humidity rose beyond what Russell called acceptable levels. His wife Marjorie had passed away 6 years earlier, and since then he had built a life out of routine. Coffee at 6, newspaper at 6:30, toast at 7, a walk if the weather had manners, lunch at noon, supper by 5:30, television if nothing on it featured shouting, bed by 10. It was a respectable life, predictable, orderly, manageable. It was also, though Russell rarely admitted this even to himself, a little too quiet in ways that were harder to discuss than they should have been. The chief threat to Russell's peace was his neighbor, Betty Sloane. Betty was 70, energetic, relentlessly cheerful, and in possession of the kind of civic enthusiasm usually seen in women who can organize a fundraiser, frost a sheet cake, and settle a church dispute without wrinkling their blouse. She lived 2 houses down in a blue colonial with yellow mums on the porch and a garage full of folding tables. Betty believed every person had something to contribute, which was a pleasant philosophy until she decided what your something was before asking. On a crisp Thursday in October, Russell was on his porch with coffee and half a buttered English muffin when Betty came through the gate, carrying a covered dish and a clipboard. Russell took one look and said, "No." Betty stopped. "I haven't even spoken. You have a clipboard. I also have peach cobbler. That means the clipboard is serious. That means I came prepared." "For what?" "For your resistance." Russell leaned back in the porch chair. "Then you know my answer." Betty pulled the dish towel back just enough to release a smell so persuasive it should have required licensing. "Fresh this morning." "That is manipulative. That is neighborly." "It is both." She sat down without invitation, because if Betty Sloane had waited for invitations in life, half the town would still be trying to locate extension cords from 1998. "The Fall Fellowship Night has a problem," she said. Russell closed his eyes for one brief second. Cedar Glenn's Fall Fellowship Night was the town's annual autumn event held in the church recreation hall. It involved casseroles, pies, raffle baskets, folk music, folding chairs, and enough decorative corn to suggest the building itself had been harvested. Russell usually attended for exactly 45 minutes, drank 1 cup of coffee, said hello to 3 people, and escaped before anyone could ask him to move furniture. "What sort of problem?" he asked. The host backed out. "Why?" His daughter invited him to Columbus for the weekend. "That sounds legitimate." He also said he was not really a stage person. Russell nodded. "That sounds wise." Betty ignored him. "So naturally I thought of you. Why would you do that?" "Because you speak clearly, people trust you, and you're funny." Russell stared at her. "I am not funny." Betty waved that away. "You're dry." "That is not the same thing." "It absolutely is after 70. Russell took a slow sip of coffee. "I sold feed and hardware. You explained prices to farmers during drought years. You can handle a microphone. That is not reassuring. You only need to welcome people, introduce the musicians, announce the raffle winners, and keep the evening moving." That sounds like a lot of talking for a man who had other plans. "What plans?" "I was going to be home." Betty tilted her head. "That is not a plan. That is an address." Russell looked at the cobbler again and resented how strongly it supported her argument. "Have you already put my name somewhere?" he asked. She paused, just long enough to answer fully. "Only in pencil." Russell stared at the sky. "Of course. It can still be erased." "Not from people's minds, Betty. You've probably already said it out loud." "I may have used the phrase, Russell Harper has kindly agreed to help." "You volunteered me before I agreed?" "I volunteered the best version of you." He rubbed his forehead. "That sentence should be illegal." "Friday at 6:30. And if I refuse, I'll tell everyone you were intimidated by a microphone and seasonal centerpieces. Those are not equal threats. Together, they tell a convincing story." So that was how Russell Harper, retired storekeeper and devoted protector of quiet evenings, became the emergency host of Cedar Glenn's Fall Fellowship Night. For the next 24 hours, he prepared as if he were about to moderate a summit between rival nations, both of which had strong opinions about pie. He found his navy blazer, the one reserved for weddings, funerals, and restaurants where the napkins came folded into shapes. He polished his shoes. He wrote note cards. Then, he wrote better note cards. Then he wrote backup note cards in case the first set became unreadable due to panic, coffee, or oil. On Friday morning, his daughter, Linda, called from Indianapolis. "Dad, Betty says you're hosting the fellowship night. Betty should not be allowed unrestricted access to information." Linda laughed. "You'll be great. I have 11 note cards. That means you care. I have backup note cards. That means you're definitely my father. I also practiced saying the fiddler's last name out loud so I wouldn't disgrace the family. That means you're ready." He practiced in the hallway mirror that afternoon. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Cedar Glenn Fall Fellowship Night. Too stiff. Hello, friends and neighbors. Too cheerful. He looked like a man trying to sell miracle mulch. Thank you all for coming tonight. Too vague. Coming for what? Under what emotional terms? By the 7th attempt, he had introduced himself twice, thanked the room for its patience, and complimented an umbrella stand, which suggested he was no longer improving. Betty arrived at 6:15, wearing a rust-colored cardigan and earrings shaped like leaves. "You look respectable," she said. "You look organized," Russell replied. "That's because I am. That's what concerns me." The recreation hall was already buzzing when they arrived. Long tables were draped in orange and gold paper cloths. Mason jars filled with fake leaves and battery candles served as centerpieces. Raffle baskets sat on a side table, wrapped in cellophane so tightly they looked like diplomatic shipments. Crock pots lined the back counter beside pans of baked beans, casseroles, macaroni, chili, cornbread, slaw, and enough desserts to suggest the town had been preparing emotionally for weeks. There were retirees in cardigans, children in sweaters, men in boots, women in